There
she is.
She really just does embody that, like, goddess vibe.
Yeah.
And she is very tall
ela no
as well,
SMITE
as
2
you'll
vai
notice
ficar
here.
da hora, tá?
She is
Que
standing on a bit
passiva
of a
grande,
platform.
Raes!
Unfortunately for her,
Puta que
part of
pariu!
her lore was that she was unfortunately separated
15
from her
metros de
former kids,
passiva!
so she is not allowed to touch the
Que
earth
isso?
as a good kind of nod to that, even despite how sad it is.
Ô,
I'm sorry, it's
louco!
Valentine's Day, but even today, of all days, she's not allowed to.
But hey,
14.
still, love conquers all, and they've kept going through it, so it's still beautiful and romantic. So
It finds a way.
Love finds a way. And it'll find its way to the duel lane, because she's a hunter.
Awesome. Well, let's
A
get a
DC, gente.
preview of these abilities.
Yeah,
So,
show us.
J-Mac, show us the full, beautiful
Ela
display
é a
of
mulher da Lore.
heavenly power.
Yeah, do it.
Vai tomando. Eita porra, toma! Hadouken, toma! Outra!
Yeah.
Ah, porra, velho. Essa porra é um mago,
There's a
velho.
lot of stuff going on.
Isso
So
aí
many beautiful things happening here.
Isso é um
They look
mago.
amazing, so let's just get that out of the way. I'll say that 100 more times. But I guess let's get into it. So first of all,
ADC, by the way.
You've got to start with the symbols. Got to start with the basic attacks. So she has these cool astral basic attacks, it looks like.
Yeah, so she is a hunter, right? So she'll be doing physical
Caçadora.
damage,
Yeah.
and she is going to be
Dano
based a lot
físico.
around basic attacks
Okay.
in terms of just how she is as a class. But they are rather beautiful.
Oh,
she
they really
will
are.
be pulling out of this wonderful water pot that she has. And,
Ela
and she is
tira
typically
a água
described
do
as having
pote e
this water pot,
joga.
like, as
Assim,
her
ó.
main symbol, because it
Toma.
does kind of go
Sai,
with them
Satanás.
being
Sai,
an icon
Satanás.
of motherhood or the womb.
Yeah.
So it goes very, very closely with a lot of her themes.
Okay.
So we thought, what better way than to kind of pull these little starry objects, kind of like a quiver, out and then just throw them out. It is a very, very beautiful and elegant solution for her.
Yeah. Well, and as a fan of the motif of space as an aesthetic, the trail of that auto attack is probably now among, if not my favorite, like auto attack trail in the game. That is so gorgeous looking.
Ficou bonito o ataque base dela mesmo. Ficou fininho, parece, né?
It does feel like ethereal water. You're right. All right. Anyway, I could stare at that all day, but let's move on to the
Olha esses
passive. The
cabelos,
passive is
Beck. Que
called
deusa linda,
Flux. What
parabéns,
does
Iris.
Flux do?
So this is going to be
Quando o Nut acerta a habilidade no inimigo, ela ganha um ataque speed. Buff por 5 segundos. Ela pode ganhar múltiplos stacks de uma única habilidade. Então ela é uma ADC de básico e skill ao mesmo tempo?
Gotta hit them.
10 stacks? Ela ganha 2% mais 0,1 por nível. Então ela ganha 40? Mas acertar com habilidades.
And you will get attack speed.
Got it. I can get behind that. So now we're moving in to her first ability called Convergence.
Yeah, so this is the stim that I was mentioning.
Okay.
Ela vai buffar os básicos jogando 2 adicionais projéteis. Não consegui ler mais porque os caras tirou da tela.
Yeah.
So you'll also notice that she has these awesome, this awesome back piece of these orbs as well. So what's happening is she's firing out 3 shots at the same time, and they're all converging into a single point. You can see how we got the name.
I get it.
And so how this is working is that she is shooting out, again, those 3 projectiles.
Yeah.
The center one functions as close to a basic attack as possible. So it still procs crits, it still procs
O baixo do meio ainda crita,
all that wonderful stuff.
e os laterais dando extra.
Do ability damage,
Igual
and
do
proc
Rama.
ability items, etc.
That's kind of cool.
Caralho, a dela vai ser uma skill que proca skill e básico. Então vai dar crítico, Heartseeker, Crusher, porra toda. Que doideira.
The combination of effects, which is very unique for a lot of hunters. They don't have that similar way to do it.
Yeah.
The other important thing to note is that this passes through enemies and minions,
Atravessa inimigos.
but it doesn't pass through walls.
Só que não
you
passa
can shoot these at all, but
parede.
they will get stopped. So a good way
Caralho, mas,
to,
ô, isso aí
be
tá
careful
roubado?
Is that you want to make sure that you're shooting directly at them and not into a wall.
Yeah, fair enough.
Isso aí tá roubado,
Like
mano?
being like, I got him, and then it just splashes off the wall, and you're like, oh, I don't got him.
Yeah, there's a couple more pieces to this ability. I know it's kind of crazy.
Okay,
Eu
keep
não vou
going,
falar
please.
nada,
But
só
as you
quero
can see
ver
with her
os
passive meter, we've
status
got
das
these
skills
4
dela, velho.
orbs that will kind of appear off and on her back.
Yeah.
So this is kind of
As
indicates
orbs.
how many attacks you will get at any given point using this one, because it's not a single stack amount that you get for the amount of times that you can shoot. You always get 1.
It's kind of like ammo, extra ammo, bonus
Okay.
shots.
Extra
Got
ammo.
it.
You do get bonus
Okay.
shots. So you always get 1 per
As
frame, no
bolas
matter
da
when you
passiva são a
and then
munição?
you can also get up to 4 extra shots, which are those little orbs that you see on her back.
Okay,
So
cool.
as you shoot, you'll see that they start to disappear, and that
Yeah.
will tell you how many that you have left. So at the end of this, you will have no more. But actually, wait, they're coming back. So how you actually get these orbs is that you have to basic attack things.
Okay.
It gets a little complicated, which I understand.
I can see those like the glowing
Tô
stars underneath
confuso.
the orbs there.
So
yeah.
the easiest way to track this is in the passive meter. When you hit an enemy god, you get 2 stacks. When you hit a minion, you get 1 stack.
Okay.
So each extra ammo requires 4 stacks. To get all 4 extra ammos, you need 16 stacks. So 16 basic attacks on minions, or 8 on gods, or whatever combination.
Vai recarregar a sua 1, é isso?
And the extra other cool part is that because the center basic attack, or part of that ability, functions as a basic attack, you also
get stacks while
get
using
stacks
the
back
ability.
for that. Yeah, exactly.
Ah, pra recarregar só 1. Ó, se você usar 1 agora, vai ter 2 tiros só.
And
É isso?
when you're done, you have more ready to go.
That's
And you're
really
probably
cool.
wondering, it's going to be on cooldown. So how am I going to use? Why am I getting these stacks now? I can just wait for the cooldown to be done. We'll get to that in a second, but
Entendi.
just keep that in the back of your mind, because we'll get there.
Okay, the back of my mind is already pretty full, so you're.
Cara, a onda dela tá forte, tá?
Okay.
You don't have to use all of them in one go.
Tem CD.
Your back pocket.
Really, you can throw a few out and then just cancel and back in the. Okay.
Tá maluco.
Yeah, so when you cancel this ability, it puts it on cooldown, but you actually refund all the ammo that you have not used yet. So if you never shot out your 3rd or 4th stack, you'll get them back.
Vou cancelar e pegar de volta a munição.
Use them when the cooldown's up next.
My mind is too full.
Não, dela. A 1 dela é 4 tiros, rapaziada. Só tá voltando porque tá com cooldown.
The rest, I promise, are a little more simple.
That's fine. I like it that way.
Ah, Deusa Meteoro.
This is super cool. This is her second ability, Crashing Comet.
Yeah, so as you can see, when J-Mac throws this ability out, she's going to call down a comet from the sky, and it crashes down.
Cai um meteoro.
Below.
Yeah.
So it does damage, obviously, but you know, getting hit by a meteor would hurt, and it also would send out a ripple around where it hits. So as you can see, there's 2 areas in the ability here. The center one roots. The outer one trembles, and we're gonna lose Odin. He's gonna walk away.
O ciclo de dentro era da Root e o de fora da Tremble. Tá, 2 CCs na mesma skill. De longe, by the way.
Depending on how accurately you hit this, you get a little bit more CC and a little bit extra damage on top of that.
E dá mais dano no centro também.
Again, because if you're hitting the center, you're getting 2 stacks.
Pô, ficou feio essa 1, tá? Não achei bonitão a animação.
Of that ability, so you get 2 stacks of flux because you've hit him twice. Double damage, double stacks of flux.
Yeah, more attacks.
E você ganha double stack na sua 1 se pegar no meio. Faz bolo também, não faz não, faz não.
People are like, whoa.
Very unique CC for
yeah,
as well.
very unique and very pretty. I mean, again, space aesthetic. So we're on to the 3rd ability now.
This one might be one of the most
Olha o dash dele. Dela.
abilities that we've put into the game in a long time.
Yeah.
This is
É igual a 3 do Rama.
So depending on whichever direction that you're moving, you will teleport 15 units in that direction pretty quickly.
É a 3 do Rama bufada?
God, Larry, a blink? You put a blink in the game?
É um blink?
15 units is really not that far. So what this is designed for is to kind of have a juke ability. Let's say like Scylla drops across your feet.
É muito. É a 3 do Merlin com a 3 do Rama fundida.
And the other great part about this ability
Que absurdo isso! É a área pra quê? Vai dar dano ainda! Dá dano ainda a 3 dela. Ué! Se tiver 5 gods na área, vai pegar nos 5 gods?
Podia ocupar mais espaço na tela.
Okay, cool. So you're saying that if there are 3 people, though, each one of those will hone to its own.
Ah, mas é só 3 projéteis. Vai um em cada alvo, qualquer coisa.
One person gonna get hit twice. One person furthest away is gonna get hit once.
How do y'all come up with this stuff?
I mean,
ó, 2 pra 1 pro outro. Ah, tá. Menos mal.
Yeah, right? I like that you called it a juke, by the way, when while I can see it being used as that, I can also see that as a, you aren't running from me, I am going to blink you down. So.
Exactly. It's a little hard to
dá slow? Dá slow. Olha o efeito no Battle Team. É um slow, né? E estaca passiva. Cara, ela parece uma dessa de skill e básico ao mesmo tempo, tá ligado? Ou que ela vai poder fazer as duas builds, igual a Medusa.
Mas aí, it also resets the cooldown of convergence. So let's say you use your convergence, you've gotten a few extra stacks back.
Ó, e quando você usa sua 3, reseta o cooldown da sua 1.
Allow me to just use convergence.
What the fuck?
Meu Deus, velho.
0 cooldown da 1 dela.
That's really cool. I can already see you teleport across the map, you blink in, you convergence, blink into the fight, convergence again. The combos are.
Estacou a sua passiva da 1. Usou a 1, toma. Dashou, usou a 1 de novo. What the fuck?
and jumping in and out of fights, it's gonna feel really, really cool to play around it.
Yeah, and what J-Mac just did.
Cara, toda a criatividade que eles não tiveram no Bakekujira tá aqui nesse boneco. Que porra é essa?
You get to recast that, you get to reuse that. It's just such a visual.
É um Ramamago DC físico. Enquanto isso, a Nif existe. Vamos ver a ult agora, né? Que doideira, mano.
So she's gotta be calling up on them for a little bit of help every now and then, you know what I mean? But that's not even the biggest star that we've yet.
That's not even the biggest of the orbs. Well, then let's get right to it. We have her ultimate, Skyfall.
So yeah.
Genkidama neles, tá? Toma.
When she's up there, she's able to move around and aim a little bit, but she's got
explode, dá dano e dá knockout e chupa.
Beautiful, but it can also be deadly.
That's true.
And one thing that black holes are known to do is that they will pull in anything that's nearby. So if you get hit by a black hole, imagine
these nuts.
You're getting pulled back into that center there. So you'll see that target has two different circles. The inner circle does the majority of the damage, and then after a short delay, that outer circle is the area that pulls people.
Okay.
So that also does a small amount of damage, but it's balanced around, the pull is very powerful back to the center. You want to make sure that damage is a lot less than
E a dores do Atlas, né?
Man. Well, here's a fun science lesson I could be incorrect on, and I'm sure if I am, people will tell me. But I'm pretty sure when you get sucked into a black hole, you get like stretched out or whatever because crazy gravity. Pretty sure they call that spaghettification.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah,
I've heard of that.
You have? Okay, cool. So that's how spaghetti was invented. They were
out
they dropped some, wheat noodles into a black hole, and next thing you know.
Oh, ela fica tempão no ar.
It was very fun to
cool looking.
Right? Especially, I don't know if we're on restricted camera pitch here, but if we can alt and go unrestricted and take a little gander at the sky. Very quickly, I know I'm asking quite a lot here. I apologize. I'm pretty sure it's in controls. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so it's on. You just gotta turn that bad boy off. Beautiful.
Isso, desliga a câmera travada.
That's what makes it fun. The live stuff is always fun.
And you can see the whole sky is turning dark.
Ah, o céu fica escuro quando ela ulta. É tipo, rapaziada, a noite ultou, tá? O inimigo, a noite ultou sem querer na base, tá?
So enemies will know where she's firing it from. The pillar goes very high up into the sky.
Pera, ela volta pro mesmo lugar que ela saiu ou será que ela pode escolher?
Anywhere on the map this will happen. So we wanted to be very sure that there was a lot of ultimate because
é tipo onde tu rama, você vai subir e depois você vai voltar pro lugar que você tava. Tá, menos mal. Menos safe aí, né?
They know where you're gonna be. So
I've been bullied in many a
você ulta, tenta roubar o fire e volta pro safe, tá ligado?
You were like, I'm free, but you weren't free.
Ó, você vai lá longe, joga ult e volta. Roubado isso aí. É roubado mais agressivo isso aí, tá ligado? Você vai gankar, joga uma ult e volta pra base. Agora não sei se vai buildar ela skill ou ataque básico. Ou você vai fazer uma mescla dos dois, tá ligado? Rouba buff, você ulta, rouba buff e vaza, tá ligado? Cara, que isso, mano? Faz tempo que eu não vejo boneco tão absurdo assistindo. Ela é o contrário do Baki. O Baki, ele tinha cara de sem graça. Ela tem cara de ser legal.
Playtests have discovered so many things, and then you pass it out to the entire world at large, the community at large, and just the stuff that y'all figure out is unbelievable.
I mean, we can even talk a little bit on the tech side as well, just like all the really cool things that had to go into this, whether that comes to like the skybox or even just like configuring that ultimate. Like I'm sure you can.
O nome dela, ela chama Nut. N-U-T. Egípcia, caçadora, deusa do céu. Acho que na real ela é o céu, alguma coisa assim. Ela é esposa do Gab. Ela também é irmã do Gab. Ela é neta do Ra. Ela aparentemente é quebrada. Das 4 skills, 3 das skills, 4 tem CC. É isso, né? Lá é Nudge também, DM. Ela tem muito CC, velho. Olha, a 2 dela tem Root ou Tremble, se você errar. A 3 dá Slow e a ult dá chupada. Mano, ela vai combar com o Irix, tá ligado? Você vai levantar o cara pra eles puxar.
That were very funny. We made a kind of funny joke out of a bug that we had where when Nuke goes in the sky, she has the black orb in her hand.
Verdade, né, DM? Vai ter isso pra caralho mesmo. Vai ser um gosto que pode mudar qualquer coisa que vai dar certo. Eu acho que vai ser vibes Uller, vibes Kiron, que dá pra fazer full skill, meio a meio.
I made it sound a lot easier than it was. One of my favorite bugs during development was during the ult.
Deusa é meio assim também.
I don't know how it happened. She could just permanently juggle someone for like 5 seconds and like fling them higher and higher. At one point,
eu queria ver o cooldown dela, se dá... Se é alto. Eu vi que a 1 é 12 segundos, aparentemente.
There were some very funny interactions with the momentum physics-based movement going on in the ultimate, so we had to make sure we ironed out a lot of those bugs.
Vamos ver, rapaziada.
But obviously she's looking great now.
Yeah, honestly, that's one of my favorite part of working.
A 1 tem 13, a 2 tem 15, a 3 vai de 14 a 12 e a ult é 100 segundos. Tá, o cooldown dela tá maneiro até. A 3 só upando pra você conseguir. Root de 1 segundo.3, Tremble de 0 a 25, o Slow, é Slow, né? Slow, quantos por cento? Não tá mostrando aqui quantos por cento, né?
With her first skin, your standard recolor here. We have the card art for it. Really, really cool looking.
I just can't believe how amazing this card art turned out.
Yeah, this is the normal card art, by the way.
Yeah, this is her standard.
Nossa, o dano base tá alto, a ult dela, viu? Dano base e scaling da ult dela tá alto.
I mean, when aren't the people around here setting high bars? Like,
I mean, they just took like everything about her.
Imagina um camarada que pega uma Artemis contra isso. Uma Nif, tá ligado? O cara joga de Nif contra Net.
They say that, you know, each of her appendages reaches from end to end of the earth, which is them all, and she really
né, velho? Eu quero ver a recola dela agora.
Yeah.
Mano, foi que nem eu falei um dia na cal,
so let's
mano,
check out
em live, no caso.
the next card
mano,
art, her, you know, the standard recolor, the launch recolor,
bem
very
que
pretty
poderia ser
looking.
ou na 1 ou na 2,
This is a very cool purple. I love
uma
it well,
skill
because we're kind of staying in the
defensiva, tá
spacey
ligado?
theme, but going kind of like
Praticamente.
inverted a little bit, where her hair previously is a lot of
Você vai
blue
usar a
and
maioria
purples,
das
and we're
vezes. Pra que
swapping
ter
it up,
slow?
where it's a
Seria mais
lot more
fácil ter
light
root
for
ou
her
alguma
hair,
coisa.
and a lot more
Pois
dark
é.
for her clothes, which I love. I think it looks
Ela tá
amazing.
bonita também. É porque ela vai pro Smash 2 também, tá ligado? Se eu não me engano, ela vai pro Smash 2.
Her hair is just miraculous to
Oh,
look.
it's so cool. They did a great job.
Yeah, it's magnificent work of our teams to make her
Não,
hair.
a que apareceu lá é
It's
Kat.
space itself, yeah.
Spacey.
It's one of the reasons I fell in love with Atlas, because he has kind of some space hair, but Newt's space hair is next level.
Por que não foi logo a Kat
I don't know
pra
the
cá?
ins and outs of it, but I'm pretty sure.
Porque só vai ter no 2, pelo que parece.
I think it's a new combination of technologies we've done.
Like you said with the raising the bar, we've gotten to the point where the bar is so high that our teams are pole vaulting for every new bar, and they're still hitting.
Scaling das
I mean, there
skills.
was lots of new tech that went into just her visuals as well,
O
especially
dano
with the
lateral
flowing
é 15%,
you
porque
can
a
see
1 é
how
um
it
básico,
works out.
a 2 é 35%, só que é 2 vezes, né? O meio bate 2 vezes, então é 70%, a 3 é 20% vezes 3, e a ult é 80% mais 40%. É, alto mesmo é mais a ult. Caralho, olha a Nut acendida, filho. Louco esse card. Cê besta, fi.
It's pink.
Rosinha, bonitona. Xhitoman Nut, não vou ser nem porque ela é DC nessa bosta. Mas o boneco faz maneiro. Que belo card, hein? Nossa.
I don't know what the word is because I don't know clothes very well. But just I love how you have space chiseled into all of those different spots, and like it's just unmistakably like that is still new.
Yeah, it's just such a gorgeous combo of colors and perfect for the occasion, right?
I mean,
We keep going back to it,
that
but it just
romantic
works out every time.
Valentine's.
Valentine's, ficou muito maneiro, ficou muito maneiro.